Hello, my name's Octo and I'm going to be reading you a story called The Biscuit Tree because I love biscuits. Once there was a brownie called Mickle who was very poor. He lived in tumble-down cottage and grew potatoes and cabbages in his garden and nothing else because it was so small. But though he was poor, he was as kind as could be, and if anyone came knocking at his yellow front door begging for a penny, he would shake his head and say, "I haven't even a halfpenny, but you may have a slice of bread or 2 or 3 potatoes." If anyone wanted help, Mickle would always run to give it. When old Dame Fanny broke her leg, he went in to sweep and dust her cottage every day, and he fed her hens so well that they laid even more eggs than usual. And when Mr. Winkle had his roof blown off in a storm, Mickle took a ladder and spent the whole day mending Winkle's roof most beautifully. Most people knew how to reward Mickle for his kindness. They would give him a few biscuits. Mickle was so poor that he never bought a biscuit for himself. His meals were mostly bread, potato, cabbage, sometimes with soup for a treat. And he did love biscuits so much. "I really don't know which biscuits I love most," he would say. "The ginger snaps are marvellous, such a lovely taste, and the chocolate biscuits that Dame Fanny makes simply melt in my mouth. And as for those little biscuits with jam in the middle, well, I could eat them all day long." Now one day, Mickle had a bit of bad luck. A goat got into his garden and ate all his winter cabbages. And when he went to his sack of potatoes to help himself to 1 or 2, he found that a rat must have told his family about them, for nearly all had disappeared through a hole at one end of the sack. Mickle could have cried. All his winter greens gone, and most of his potatoes. What was he to live on now? He went indoors. He had been to help Pixie Lightfoot to dig her garden that day, and she had given him 6 patty cake biscuits as a reward. He had meant to keep them for Sundays and eat one each Sunday for 6 weeks at tea time, but today he was so hungry that he felt he could eat them all. Now, just outside at that very moment was a little child. Her father was travelling through the village. She was tired and cold. And when she saw the smoke rising from Mickle's chimney, she thought it would be very nice just to peep inside the door and look at the fire. So, as Mickle was about to take a bite from the first biscuit, he saw the door open slowly, and the untidy curly head of the little child come peeping round the corner. Well, everybody, if you would like to hear the rest of the story and find out what happens to Mickle, the little girl, and his biscuits, you'll need to guess who I am first. Do you know, I am so lucky to have 8 legs though, because it means I can hold 8 biscuits at one time. Yum, yum, yum.